What's going on, people? It's your boy Tony G. Black Ops Band TV back at y'all with another one. I gotta address something. I gotta address something real quick. It's getting out of line. Well, the first order of business is I want to welcome y'all to Black Ops Band TV, where the day's order of business is and always is building leaders and creating kings operation by building national development over generations. I got to get right into this though. The day ultimate order of business is what's this high value man? I keep hearing folk talk about high value man. Keep hearing men talk about high value man, being a high value man. Keep talking to women about high value men. When I first heard it, I understood the implications. I understood what was being implied. I understood what they were saying when they were talking to a high value man, what they were trying to imply, what they were trying to say. I understood the purpose behind it, the message, and what it meant to be a high value. I thought I understood it. But then to me, it seemed like it been hijacked. It became trendy. And then it got hijacked, became cute. Now to me, when I listen to these guys on different, from different avenues or different places and different spaces that they occupy, talking about them being a high value man, now it almost sounds like men, or what should be men. Basically sounded like, damn near sounded like they saying they a bad chick. Yeah, we gonna talk about it. Now that's what it sound like to me. Sound like men talk about they bad chicks, with this high value man. Like they a high value man. What's a high value man? I don't understand it. I thought I had a firm understanding of what it was, but it has lost me now. It has eluded me. I can't understand it to save my life. That's the problem. We got so many men, which should be men, want to follow trends, want to follow trends, want to get in where they fit in instead of creating that space. Let's get back to those hard men. I keep on telling y'all that. Let's get back to these hard men, because even the original interpretation of what a high value man was, that wasn't hitting on nothing. Really wasn't hitting on nothing that much, because at the end of the day, all they was truly describing in the beginning was a man. All that high value, putting all the rest of that shit, that's a man. That ain't nothing but a man. Anything less than it is less than a man. The end. Plain and simple. We sitting here talking about high value man, and now you got these cute ass boys talking about they high value man, and they want to talk to a woman about what it is to be a high value man. Like, what, you a bad chick? Like, I'm confused. Come on, fellas, it's time to tighten up. See, that's the thing though. We let these individuals hop in on some of these trends again. Like I said, when I first heard it, I understood the implications. I understood what was being meant by it. But then it got hijacked, and we let these individuals jump in, and they great orators. They know how to talk. They great influencers. They know how to talk. They know the things to say that really get you to understand where they coming from. They get you to feel where they coming from with regard to a high value man or anything else or that follows. But the thing is, let's backtrack real quick and let's take that high value shit off of there. What happened to just being a man? Doing man shit. That's what we talk about. That's what the original conversation was about when they spoke on high value man. Guys that's into really getting a couple dollars, really making some money, getting the bag in order to take care of their responsibilities. And that's the biggest thing, adopting responsibility. That's not a high value man, that's a man, sir. That's a man, sir. That has always been a man's duty. It ain't just a high value man. A man's duty is to get to that bag, to go out and hunt. Literally and figuratively. To go out and hunt. To bring back and provide for his family. That's always been a man's duty. It's not a high value man. That's a man. Cute ass boys keep talking this high value stuff. Want to be cute as women. Every other conversation about fashion, about their clothes, about their attire, about how they smell. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get it, Mr. Struve. Come on, y'all. Now, I don't really got to talk to my folk. Y'all know how we get down when it come down to dressing. Y'all know we one of the cleanest, one of the freshest. You know we are. Huh? You know it. So that ain't the conversation that I'm having. I ain't talking about it. But when we become hyper-focused on fashion, then to me, you cute. Now you want to be cute. If the only thing that you got, keep talking about high value man, if the only thing that you got going on for you is how good you look, is how handsome you are, then I advise you to find a way to get ugly quick. I advise you to find a way to get ugly quick, because all that high value shit out the door when pressure applied by a real man. By a real man. When pressure's applied by a real man, whether it's physical, whether it's in the workforce, whether it's y'all both going for what y'all bidding for the same contract, no matter what it is, pressure get applied by a real man, all that high value shit get thrown out the door. Let's start focusing and get guiding now with young men. And guiding, because a lot of it is older men too. Some people just, their whole lives, they really have never been it. That's the problem. A lot of these guys ain't used to being it. They ain't never really used to being it. So because they ain't used to being it, what I mean by being it, they ain't really used to being that. Well, I just said two different things, but they was both goofy or a little bit confusing. It or that. What I mean by that, my exact words, what I mean to that, to stop playing and get a little bit serious, what I mean by is they're not used to being that individual that was considered by their peers the top guy. The guy, the front runner. They're not used to being that. That's what I mean when I say they ain't used to being it. That's what I mean when I say they ain't used to being that. So as they get older, they start developing certain characteristics behind, guess what? Other influences. Something that somebody else influences. They piggyback off of certain things that somebody else or something else that they've heard. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, you got to be careful on the individual that you choose to follow behind, because oftentimes you can follow behind somebody for so long and they can hit on certain topics and can be really cooking with grease with regard to those certain topics. They can really hit on some serious points that I agree with. There's plenty of people that I listen to that I don't really fuck with. Excuse my language, but I really don't really deal with them, but I listen to them. And I pay attention to them, and sometimes they be hitting certain targets or certain points that really make sense. And then the others is like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, I can't follow. I don't really follow that. So you got to add what's useful, delete what's useless, and incorporate to which essentially you own. I tell you that all the time. You say, what you mean by that? You say, Gunner, what you mean? That mean eat the meat, discard the bones. Huh? Yeah, that mean eat the meat, discard the bones. Throw the bones away. The trash. You got to do that with some of these influences that we listening to. Because if you follow them far enough down that rabbit hole, only thing gonna happen is you're gonna get lost. They used to moving and maneuvering in that rabbit hole. They rabbits. But man, a man ain't a rabbit. A rabbit is a prey animal. A man is a predator. Or at least he ought to be. A man is a predator. A man is violent. I just said something. I paused for a little because I wanted everybody to feel that when I said it. I wanted everybody to feel that when I said it. And the reason me saying it because these high value men is showing themselves to be cute ass boys. Following behind the next man. Prey. A man is violent. Violent in his actions, violent in his intent, violent in his motives, but has that under voluntary control. But he has that beast under control. That's a good man. That's a hard man. I don't know about the high value men. I don't know what they got to offer. I really can't rock with that. I don't even like it no more. Like I said, I understood it when it first came out. When I first heard it, I understood what it meant, and I felt good about the original interpretation of what they were saying when they were speaking with regard to high man. But now, like I said, it's becoming trendy and it's becoming a cute thing. It's becoming the equivalent to a bad chick. Now these men want to walk around, they want to be bad chick, and they start talking about ragging. What we talking about? Talking about ragging. Talking about your clothes. Bro, if you don't know how to throw that shit on already, then that's on you. But why? That's your focus. We always been kings and queens. You feel what I'm saying? We always put that, put that on. We always did that. But why is that your focus? You got guys now on videos checking out another man's shoes, his attire. They really checking out his attire, shoes and shirt really up and down like a woman. What's wrong with y'all, man? Come on now. Tighten up. Come on, fellas, tighten up. All these cute ass boys. I don't even want to talk to y'all too much no more. Come on, man. Tighten up. It's just this right here just bothers me. This ain't really even meant to be something real long and drawn out. This is for me to really, if anything, this is for me to reel it back in. It's time to reel it back in. Fellas, understand that it's time to reel it back in. Really start to grab them nuts. Excuse my language on here, you know, YouTube, because I know this ain't really for y'all, but it's time for niggas, it's time for, I'm sorry, it's time for men to start, come on, grab your nuts, fellas. You know, y'all starting to get cute out here. Y'all starting to act like women. Y'all wanna be, y'all hopping from trend to trend, just like women do. That's not for you. Come on, man, tighten up. That's not for us. We supposed to be the gatekeepers. We supposed to be the warriors. We supposed to be the kings. We ain't supposed to be cute. High value. Come on, man. What we talking about? What are we talking about? I'm confused. I can't take. Listen. I'm gonna leave it at that. Bottom line up front is do man shit. Live strong or die weak. Ain't no pressure. Ain't no pressure. We building leaders and creating kings. Ain't no cute ass boys. We not building cute ass boys, man. We building kings, warrior kings, individuals that's meant to step up, stand up in moments of, in the moments that they're needed, in the moments that they're needed, regardless of what that moment is, and regardless of what it may take for them to be prosperous or victorious in that moment. We are teaching these young men, or we ought to be teaching these young men, to be prepared and capable to step up in those moments, and teaching them to be a high value man, or at least by today's society, by today's rules and regulations in society, understanding and interpretation of what a high value man is. That ain't gonna cut it. We're gonna get stepped on. We're gonna get stepped on. We got us over here focusing on high value men, being high value men. And you got other individuals that has came up from the mud. Over there in Afghanistan, they coming up from the mud, raising their men to be warriors. You got Putin over here doing whatever he want to do, stepping on Ukraine right now, raising their young men to be warriors. You got even down to Ukraine, they have literally given guns and ammunition to their civilians. Hard conditions. And you got some of us over here talking about high value men, being cute, fashion. Come on, what are we really dealing with? What are we really doing? At one point or another, you got to take responsibility. At one point or another, you got to really look inside yourself and realize that it's a higher calling. It's a higher calling. It's a deeper meaning. What does it truly mean? What is it that I need to look for? What is it that I need to search for in myself to bring about the best in my surroundings? And being a cute, high-value man, a bad chick, but fella, but guy, that ain't cutting it. And again, this ain't hating on nobody that throw them clothes on like that really know how to put that together. This ain't about that. We do that. We do that. This about that becoming your focal point and losing what it means to be a man. Losing what it means to be a warrior. Losing what it means to be a king. A provider, a father, a husband, a man. Do man shit. Live strong or die weak. Ain't no pressure. Until then, Black Ops Bando TV. You like the content that I put out? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Comment. Some of y'all, listen, and even with that, I invite the turmoil. Some of you cute ass boys, but I consider cute ass boys, you high value men. Let's talk about it. Maybe y'all need, I'm open to it. Maybe y'all can open my eyes to something I wasn't seeing. But as of right now, it's getting out of hand, fellas. So a few of y'all that may understand it, that has a better understanding, comment on it so I can understand where y'all coming from. Do that for me.